Well, it looks like the Democrats done reached a deal over there with the Republicans and stuff. It looks like it was about eight of them. Matter of fact, let me see if I have their images somewhere here. Okay, let's get them up on the screen here. These are the eight Democrats that decided to agree and go along with the Republicans to go ahead and get the House, get the government back open, right? A lot has been going on since the government has been shut down with SNAP being withheld. Now they got the whole court situation they have to work out. You also have flights being canceled left and right, people quitting. It's just been an entire mess. You got federal workers that was not getting paid at all during this time off, furloughed, not getting back pay, is what was being said. So it's been a whole lot going on. So these Democrats decided to give in and get the government back open. But it's also weird because it seems like, well, what was everything for? Like, they didn't really get anything out of the deal. The whole reason that you guys were like standing off and not moving forward and agreeing with this big beautiful bill, or what, I don't even want to call it the big beautiful bill, so I got to get the original name of it. But this this doggone bill was because of the ACA subsidies that's going to go away, and I think that a lot of people believe that the ACA subsidies only affect people that may be like entrepreneurs, right, self-employed or whatever, and they have to go out into the marketplace or whatever and get their insurance. But it also affects y'all that work with the job and you get employee insurance as well. So there are certain protections within the ACA that looks out for y'all, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or whatnot. I do believe that it helps with those healthcare companies not discriminating against you guys. So it's a lot that goes into it, and other protections that are within the ACA, and of course the subsidies to make the payments much lower than what they are. And a lot of people's payments are about to go up. A lot of people are not going to be able to afford the insurance. And what's kind of crazy is that what they ended up getting in this whole, first of all, I hate that this is where we are with everything, because again, I hate that the shutdown even had to happen to where it affected so many people. It was a trickle down effect. And what I don't like about it is with these Democrats coming to the table to propose or to accept the proposal that was presented to them. Hello, because the Democrats gave the Republicans a proposal to revisit this a year from now, right? And so the Republicans came back and they didn't care about that, right? They still went communicated with other Democrats to get them to flip in an effort to try to push through what it is that they want. And they decided to give them a promise to vote on this. But what was being stated from what I've read is that y'all did this before, as far as a promise to revisit this, and you didn't, which is why we're here now. So I'm like, well, shit, if that's the case, if they promising y'all of that y'all are gonna vote on extending it in December, and it's like that's what irritates me, because it's like, no, bitch, why are we waiting? Let's do it now. You got millions of Americans waiting on this. Not only are they waiting on their snaps and whatever other benefits, like, let's do it now. Why are we waiting to December to decide on whether we're gonna vote on it or not? Like, no, let's make that decision right now. We've had people waiting long enough. Y'all had us waiting long enough while y'all was out there on a damn taxpayer ass vacation. So it's like, come on now, make it make sense. But it's like, what all did they get? Like, one, they got that vote, right? And it's not even a guarantee. That's crazy, right? So they got excuse me, I would say like a promise, in a sense, like a little pinky promise or whatever. Like, oh yeah, we promise. Y'all got a promise that they're gonna look into this and let y'all vote on this in December. And it's like, shit, what if it don't even come up? So they're saying the deal secured a promise of a future vote. A promise of a future vote. Do you know how many people break their promises, and Republicans have broken their promises before, child? So it's like, it's just a mess. But at the same time, it's like, although I hate, because it is given that y'all caved, at some point, I do hate that people had to endure what they endured with this shutdown. But keep in mind, we've had shutdowns before. And it may have been some furloughed, governmental employees, but then also people didn't really go without. There were no flight issues. There were no SNAP issues. And that's what makes me cringe. Going back to the point that I was trying to make, was I kind of hate that the Democrats did agree to this, because it does make it look as though it was a Democrat shutdown, all because y'all was not trying to bend the knee to them to go along with this. But at the same time, it's like, but the shutdown didn't have to be what it was, what it ended up being. Y'all chose to shut off the damn SNAP. Y'all didn't have to do that in my personal. Y'all could have kept the SNAP. Y'all didn't have to mess with the people benefits. That's what y'all chose to do. And then now when they're forcing y'all to pay this money, y'all want to act like y'all ain't got it and y'all got to look around and find where the hell the money at. Like, is you cool? So it's like y'all inflicted that harm on them, right? Y'all stop paying out some of these FAA workers and stuff like that, making it even more difficult for them. I feel like some decisions were made, didn't even have to be made. And on top of that, when these people were furloughed or whatever, y'all sat up there and said y'all was not going to get them no damn back pay. That right there was crazy. So it's like all of that was at the hands. A lot of the pain that the people endured in my personal was at the hands of the people that control every level of the damn government. Okay, y'all did that at the end of the day. As much as y'all would want to say a democratic shutdown, that I would have to disagree with, right? Y'all inflicted additional harm on folks that did not have to be inflicted upon them. And it's crazy because for y'all stupid, I do feel like it's a bit of a dumb decision, but at the same time there are more votes that need to be had, because now that they kind of have this agreement, I think some things have to be restructured, and then they got to send it back to the House for approval, and it got to be voted on and all of that, and it may not even pass that next round of votes, who knows. But at the same time, it just makes me kind of feel like, yo, if the whole goal was to get them to give you a decision in a year, or not give you a decision in a year, but if the whole goal was for them to extend it for a year, why would you be okay and go along with a potentially a potential vote the next month? They gave you a pinky promise, like we might get to this next month. It depends on what's gonna, how important it is. They may put it very low on the totem pole to where it's not even that important of a pressing matter, considering it's holiday season. Ain't no telling what the hell they finna do, right? And y'all went for it. But here's the thing too that I think some of us don't be understanding is that these Democrats didn't make this decision just solely off of, oh, I'm gonna go along because you're gonna potentially give us a vote. They went along with this more than likely because of other things that was listed in the bill that they may have needed, or they wanted to go along with, or they were in heavy support of, more than likely, right? But now y'all are being exposed, right? Where people are talking about how they're getting money from APAC or AIPAC and all of this stuff. It's been a lot of things that's going out, and some part of me feel like we're gonna be right back here. If y'all just wanted to ease the pain and suffering of Americans, some part of me kind of gets it, and then some part of me doesn't, because it still makes me feel like, well, what was it good for? Absolutely nothing, right? But if y'all wanted to calm all of this down, especially during the holiday season, and let's get back to being in session, should this come back up, I do feel like we're gonna have the same issue yet again. We're gonna have the same issue yet again, because I feel like in the House, I think there were still some Republicans that was not like fully sold on some stuff. So all in all, I just feel like we're gonna be right back. It's probably gonna be another shutdown. Right? Ain't no telling how. And then also, this decision made a lot of Democrats lose faith in their party. And ain't no telling people like, we need a whole new party now, because this is crazy. When I tell you they have been getting lit the hell up over there on social media, baby, I have never, I'm not gonna hold you, enjoyed seeing my Threads timeline. So like, I haven't enjoyed it. Like, I'm loving the political commentary that's taking place over there on Threads. Everybody has something to say and stuff. A lot of people are upset, and I'm not saying you guys should not be upset or whatever. I do hate it for the people that were going without, and people didn't want to extend the shutdown so that you guys go without, you know. But it also was not bending the knee, because it only makes, this crazy, what they call it, the regime, even more damn crazier, right? They didn't want you guys to go without, because keep in mind, in my personal, y'all didn't have to. I feel like executive decisions were made. A lot of y'all, I don't know what y'all got going on, but I feel like maybe some people would have been a bit more at ease if they would have even known they were going to get back pay, at least. So some of these decisions that were made were not made by the D party, but more so the other party. But it's just crazy. Other things that they ended up getting, from my understanding, they are going to be rehiring some federal employees, which is good. And they're also going to be giving these people their money back. All right. So, or giving them back pay. So yeah, don't rehire some of them. Don't bring some of them, bring everybody back and get them their money. Right. They're also going to, have other appropriations for certain agencies like the military and veteran affairs and stuff like that. So, Some people are going to be receiving their things, but again, what's still on limbo is the ACAs. I saw one of the Democrats on, I think it was Twitter, baby. He was going off. He said, accepting nothing but a pinky promise from Republicans is not a compromise. Okay, it's some we in shambles. All right, basically it's a mess, right? He also said, pretty much like millions of people are going to have to pay the price for this decision. But at the same time, some people are like, well, we still have a chance because it still has to be voted on all over again. And I'm like, well, if it got to be voted on all over again, then, based on the amendments or whatever, it's like, well, damn, we probably going to be right back here with shit going to be shit right back down all again because people cannot agree. Because just because they have these particular Democrats that gave in and decided to push forward to open up the government and stuff like that, it doesn't mean that they're going to continue to have their vote. Something else may change at a later time, when it comes back up on the table. So who knows? It may go through, it may not go through, but I think a lot of us are upset about the fact that why did this have to go on so long? Right? If y'all was just only going to bend the knee and still not get what it is that you were trying to get out of the situation, you literally got a promise to vote. And it's not even a guarantee because from what I'm understanding, they've done this before. And that shit wouldn't even guarantee you. But let me tell you what's real interesting to me about these individuals that sat up here and decided that they were going to vote on this, right? So from what I'm understanding, and I do want to make this pretty small here, right? Is that some of these folks aren't even up for reelection. So, I saw a lot of people saying, we need to strategize and everything when it comes to these folks and, get them out and all of this and that. And it's like, baby, some of these, it's only one person up here that's up for reelection next year. And that's Tim Kaine out of Virginia. So I highly doubt, I don't know. It depends on how heavily impacted you were and or not. But I feel like in 2028, when it's time to vote again for some of these people, they're not going to remember this. But keep this in mind. Quite a few of them also are not seeking reelection. So they say, like Jean or Jean or however you say her name, was expected to be up right in 2026, but decided she's not seeking re-election next year. Then you got Jackie Rosen, and I was really disappointed when I saw her name, the way, she was over there getting somebody together in one of the meetings that they had because he was so disrespectful and letting him know that this is y'all shutdown, only for her to turn around and to pretty much give in. She's not up for re-election until 2030. Right? Same thing with Angus King, not up for till 2030. Y'all not gonna remember this stuff by then, right? You got Maggie Hassan, not up for re-election until 2028. Same thing with John Fetterman, 2028, right? Dick Durbin is up for 2026, but not seeking a re-election, right? Then you also got Catherine, 2028. Child. So I also feel like they know how y'all minds are. Okay. How quick y'all move on to the very next thing. Y'all may not even remember who the ones were that were involved. And the anger you have today is not gonna be the anger you got probably a year or 10 years from now. Right. So I feel like they were likely strategic in the people that they reached out to. Now, Tim Kaine's decision, I don't really know his reasoning as to why he made the decision to step in, knowing that he is up for re-election next year, and not making excuses for these people. But it just made me wonder, like, why would y'all do that? Why would y'all do that? And I'm like, when are these folks up for re-election? Only to find out that they're up for re-election very far out. Two of the people, or maybe it may be two or three of them that's up for re-election, and only one of them is likely going to run again, whereas the other two I already said, nah, I'm not running again for a re-election. I'm done after this. I'm finna go retire and sit my ass down, okay? Like Nancy. But let me see if Tim Kaine has a Twitter, because I have seen some of these individuals come out and put a statement out. And some of them, I don't really care what they have to say, because for me, I feel like I've already made the decision for them as to why they really voted for this. And it's likely because y'all ain't gonna be able to touch them in their position that they're in, because they're gonna be holding the position for quite a few years, right? Tim has not said anything. He has not got on here to say anything as of of yet. He's been pretty quiet. At least that's what I'm seeing over here on his Twitter page. Child. Yeah, but that's what's going on. These are the individuals that decided to come to the front. And when they came to the front, they said, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead and shut this thing down." All right. It's a whole lot going on. But I also wonder, what else did y'all get? I understand y'all got that little promise, to get a vote that's not even guaranteed to happen next month. So then my question is, what other things were you promised that's not on the record? Granted, it may be some things within the record that they're like, okay, I want this, I want that, let's move it forward. But then what else was there? I feel like those details may come out at a later time, but I just wanted to come and add my little 2 cents. It's not even a whole lot 2 cents, because I feel like it's so much we could say, add to, take away from this particular situation here. And I'll let you guys do that down below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and how you're feeling about this. As I feel like it is a bittersweet thing a little bit, because I feel like the Democrats should operate on some I don't give a fuck type shit like the Republicans have been, right? But at the same time, I am glad that people are going to be able to receive the money that they need for their families. Now, when it comes to SNAP, I still don't think that's a guarantee, because now that it's tied up with the courts, and now that they was also trying to say like, oh, we got to pull the money from here and pull it from there. So it's like, where the money at? Do y'all even have the money? Is the case going to get dismissed now that the government is open? How does that work? Or are the people going to continue to wait weeks to even receive something? And by the time they receive it, we probably gonna be back into another government shutdown, child, in just a few months. Y'all gonna cut the folks snaps off then too? Because keep in mind, them people, Trump, them cutting off folks snaps and stuff, like he didn't have to do that. But from what I'm hearing, and I want to read it for myself, right? What I'm hearing is that a part of this big bill that they got going on, it is to cut back on like Medicare and stuff. It is to cut back on what is that, on SNAP. Just like they not trying to fund or do anything with the ACA and the subsidies, they're gonna reroute that money and use it towards something else. And the question is, where the hell the money going to? Where is it gonna go to? And then he gonna get up here talking about the money for Obamacare ACA. He's like, send that money to the people so they'll be able to get the insurance they want, or something like that. Trump put a post out, and let me see if I can grab it on Politico, because I do want to make sure that I'm quoting him correctly. But let me see here. Is it oh no, it's not that site. Let me see. There we go. All right, what did he say? Where is that post at? Is it still up there? Okay, I do not see it up here on their page, but I know that he was referencing about sending people so much of money or something like that, and let them choose the healthcare that they wanted. And I'm like, hey, sir, what you talking about sending still ain't enough. That wouldn't be enough to cover what people need to cover. Right? You over there trying to give 40 billion to damn Argentina. You should have been trying to figure out how you was gonna give so many millions and billions back to the citizens of this damn country. But they don't really be caring about the folks down here for real, child. So y'all leave y'all thoughts on the matter at hand, child. Y'all probably more educated in politics than me, but I had to come in and give y'all Jamie's perspective on the politics. Leave it down below. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can